welcome to a new training video. So this video today is going to be about 360 images. As you can see, looking over here, feeling trapped, we help with anything, foreclosures, taxes, divorces. Look over here, all that garbage, stress-free, we will do the cleaning. And then we buy houses, no repairs, no agents, no fees. A very interactive post, more interactive on mobile. So I'll show you that right now. Alright, so this is what the ad looks like on Messenger. I'm holding it in my hand in a phone. So we buy houses, no repairs, no agents, no fees. Click below to send a message. And when they click on it, it'll actually send a message. It won't zoom in. So you actually won't be able to do this. Hopefully it should just send a message directly. When you click send a message, I'll show you what that does in a second. You can move with your finger, which is what I'm doing. Or you could actually move with your body. So there's many ways to actually interact with this ad, and there's many different opportunities with this ad. So on a fence, I put feeling trapped. You could, we help with all situations. And then I turn around and I go to the garbage pile and it says stress free. We'll do all of the cleaning for you. So that's pretty cool. And then we come back over here and we see we buy houses, click send message below. So we can go ahead and click send a message if it's an engagement campaign, and this happens. It automatically goes into a lead form. So how cool is that? You could actually optimize for engagement, but get leads. Now, you may not get leads as often as a lead generation campaign because it's optimized for people who want to click to become a lead. However, you could still, when you see the rest of the video, you'll see some hidden techniques in there. So do I live at the property? Yes, I do. How soon would you like to sell? 14 days. How much in repairs is needed? 50,000. I want to sell it quick. It needs a lot of repairs. What's the address? Oh, that's interesting. It's really... Wow, that was a pain in the ass to hit. So there's the address. Which phone number do you want to... is best to reach you out of these options? Which email is best? As you can see, it's a sliding scroll. So I phrase it, which email is best, because I'm assuming multiple pop up. And then they choose the email. Do you prefer email, text, or phone call? I prefer Messenger, please. And that's it. So now I have a generated lead. It'll go into my Zapier and send me a text. I also have it on my Facebook Pages Manager. And I can follow up with them in Messenger and actually go visit their personal profile, add them as a friend on my secondary page, which is an advanced technique we'll talk about later. So there you go. All right, so welcome back. Now that you've seen it on desktop and you've seen it on mobile, let's go ahead and talk about the fundamentals here. So for 360 panoramic advertising, it is a pain in the ass to set up. That's why I kind of have this tutorial here. So basically right now, if you want to do a dynamic ad, so you have multiple ad copies, multiple headline, multiple text, call to actions, everything, you can't do multiple. You could only have, a send a message button, a headline, and this. It's pretty simple. For some reason, they don't allow more complicated stuff. And as far as the campaigns you can do, there's a couple. So let's kind of go over those real quick. You can do an engagement campaign. So you could actually try to reach people on a personal level right here. So as soon as you get the engagements, you come in here and you just open their page. Okay, so Nora Montano. Most people would send a message, and then that will get you spam marked as flag, and your message would start to not go into the main folder, but to wherever the other one is. I don't even know where it's at. Message requests. Do you know how I don't even go there ever. Sometimes I see it on my phone, but basically you're being marked as spam if you do this. So don't do this. There's actually it takes a little bit more time, but there is another technique that you could do. You could add her as a friend. And what happens when someone adds you as a friend? You go look at their profile. And this is why I have a ClickFunnels right here basically on my profile. So I'm viewing it as public. This is what somebody would see when I send them a friend request. So they would see the things that I'm posting. Okay, something about an ad. Foreclosure, ad, and this stuff I need to make private actually. So I want everything that's publicly seen to just be, license this video, my YouTube videos, a script for this. I just want people to see that it's about Facebook ads and real estate. So when people visit my profile, they're like, oh, okay, this is about, he does Facebook ads for real estate. It's very, very obvious. You could do the same thing for a wholesaler. So you could say, we buy houses on your banner. And you could say, no repairs needed. We pay all the fees. We can close on a timeline you want, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days. Send me a message. They could send you a message when they go look at you to inspect you to see who you are. And they'll be like, you know what? Okay, I'll add them as a friend. Boom. Now they're trapped in your personal profile funnel on your friends list. That's why I recommend a secondary page I'll get to in a second here. And then they can, of course, send you a message. They can click on your intro, click on a link to go to your website. They can click on your bio, click on a link to go to your website. They can click on the image. And let's go ahead and, we'll exit. Oh, wow. Error. Exit view. You click on your banner. You should have, basically ad script that takes them to your website. So you could think of this as the engagement as the first touch marketing. Then when you add them on your secondary personal profile or your primary personal profile, whatever approach you want to do, then that's basically the personal retargeting phase. So it's for free, by the way. So you can personally retarget them with your posts, and you could actually post testimonials. And if everyone on your friends list, that's why I say secondary page, if everyone on your friends list is basically a motivated seller, you have up to 4,000 pre-qualified motivated sellers that are basically watching your personalized messages and testimonials all day long for free. So that's like a super Jedi technique I'm working on. But you could basically optimize for engagements and then send them a friend request. Or if you want to be spamming, you could send them a message. You could just invite them to like your page as well. And the bonus for when they do an engagement campaign is when you send a message, this happens. How soon would you like to sell the property? 14 days. How many repairs? Gives you options. In a perfect world, that would have showed up, but for some reason it's not doing it for me right now. Let's see if maybe I try a different one. Nah, so it's not doing it right now, unfortunately. But it does, I promise. So as soon as they click send message on an engagement campaign, it actually recaptures them directly into a lead. All right, so let's go ahead and keep the ball rolling down the hill there. So engagement campaign, the benefit, the bonus is you actually can optimize for message leads, which is pretty cool. And link clicks are pretty cheap. And you could potentially follow up with them with a secondary personal profile. Now, when you do a message campaign, this is, let's see. This is a message campaign. So they'll click and message you. It starts a conversation. How fast can you buy my house? Do I have to pay any fees? Do I have to repair my house first? And then you basically have a scripted response for whatever option they choose. And then once they choose an option, you come and you follow up and you say, hey, you have a property that you'd like to sell? So far, the people who are responding the best to this, let me refresh it because it says I got 3 now. Yeah, it's a little behind. It says I have 3 now. So the only ones I'm getting so far are from Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Homes.com. Super cheap, 90 cents, but I'll show you why in a minute. FSBO and repairs. The data and metrics is pretty crappy. The link click-through is below 1%, and the click-through rating all is 1% after 200 impressions, so I shut it off. But for refinancing and no interests, 3%, 15%. Impressions are not there yet, but that's crazy high. Same thing for the link click-through rating also, click-through rating also. So no interest and refinancing is usually what I prefer to target as. So if I can get some messages in there, I'd be pulling out some motivation. Too bad the FSBO and repairs doesn't work, because that's really what the image is about, but oh well. So yeah, really good metrics right there. And then we just wait for some messages to trickle in. Now that is a message campaign. It's actually not for leads. I did that incorrectly. That is for the one that you see here. So to talk about Zillow, Trulia, Homes.com, these 3 people came from Zillow, Trulia, Homes.com, and let's go ahead and do a deep dive on their profile and what the interest Zillow, Trulia, Homes.com is. As you can see, they are in Lehigh Acres, Cape Coral, so they are in my target market. However, when you go look at their photos and everything, this is most likely somebody who's interested in We Buy Houses or becoming a potential motivated seller. I'm not sure if it is her or him. It's kind of confusing. But let's just say success stuff. So it's probably a potential wholesaler in the making, but because they visit ZillowTriliaHomes.com. This is a realtor. Guess what? They visit ZillowTriliaHomes.com. And Melvin Gabriel Maldonado, most likely somebody who's potentially interested in wholesaling, not somebody who is a motivated seller. Super young, super young. So really, I should just stop doing ZillowTriliaHomes.com, and that's why I cut it off. I looked at my data. Yeah, nice, cheap messages, but it's not a motivated seller. So you have to keep in mind what your interest targeting is actually getting you, and if it's not getting you quality, shut it off because you'll be wasting money. So those messages will work. These 3 messages right here will work, but ideally don't do that, because if you could do an engagement campaign, you can go and see all of the people who've engaged. You can go on a secondary personal profile and basically have them trapped in a personal profile retargeting campaign forever, where you just have social proof and testimonials posted daily or weekly or whatever you want to do, you know, and then you can interact with them in Messenger on your secondary profile, your secondary phone, your virtual assistant can do that. And if they ever decide to click send message, it automatically captures them into a lead generation form. So which one is better, engagement or message campaign? Well, this is trash. This has so much opportunity in it. And then of course we have the 2 lead forms. So we have message leads and on Facebook lead forms. So message leads, let's just try this one. I don't think I started this one yet because I was testing everything else. And we go down and preview in Messenger. Yeah, that should be it. All right, so this is technically what it'll look like when you click on Messenger from an engagement campaign. So, hello Devon, there are a few things we need to know about your property that you'd like to sell. Do you live at the current property? Yes. I removed that question because it's kind of redundant. And then I usually jump to this question first now, which is how soon would you like to sell a property? Oh, I'd like to sell it in 14 days. How much in repairs are needed? $10,000. Great, we need to evaluate the property. What's the address? That's the phone number. That's the best one to reach me. And that's the best email. Okay, cool. So that's all the questions. Do I prefer email, text, or phone calls? Just go ahead and text me. So that's not a response question. That's actually the final statement. And people feel obligated to respond, so they usually respond. And now you know they prefer phone calls, emails, or texts. So I kind of like that technique. We'll go over that in the second half of this video when I actually set up the campaigns. So without further ado, because I think you know what a lead generation on Facebook lead form is by now also. So let's go ahead and set up the campaigns. All right, so first off, you're going to need to post the image for an engagement campaign. Is that? Nope. So go to the page. All right, and you're going to have to just simply create a post and select an image here. And then shoot, where is it? It's on Facebook. Got it. Yeah, it's down here. Okay. Nope, it's right here. And let's save, I think it's version 5. Or is it version 7? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Because I have a couple different versions. One has a banner on the side there. So I think it's version 6. There we go. So right here in the middle, it actually says click below to click below, learn more. So if you're doing a lead campaign, it says, you know, to do the call to action. And then I have another one, I think version 5 is has a, nope, it's going to be version, I think 4 then. It's going to be the one that you have where it says send message, and then it has the banner and the 2 banners on the right and left side. So as you can see, when it's a rectangle like this, it should already be 360. So you're going to go ahead and click send message, and then you're going to type in your ad copy right here, because you're not going to be able to do your ad copy later. So you must create the ad copy when you create the post, not inside the campaign, but when you're making the post. And there you go. So yeah, click the send message button, add copy, and there you go. Now, when you boost an engagement campaign, you could actually choose the message script to be a lead generation script, and that's what allows that lead generation to be attached to that post. So see, now it's all set. There's your ad copy. There's everything all good to go. Now, when I click send message, let me see, is it automatically? Unfortunately, yeah, it's broken right now. It's not working for me. But when you click send message, it should do that lead generation campaign. Let's go ahead and create a campaign and show you what the first engagement campaign would look like. So you're going to be doing auction, consideration, and you're going to be going to engagement. So create a campaign, consideration, engagement, CBO, because you do want to have it trickle down, campaign budget optimization, because you want it to trickle down into whichever ad set is performing the best. So post engagement, continue. Special ad category, very important. Campaign budget optimization, yes. For engagement, just $10 a day. And we're going to go to next. And then, of course, people living in this location, you want to make sure you have all of your exclusions so you're not retouching the same people. So you want to exclude, of course, wholesalers, investors if you have that list. Retargeting through play. So anyone who's watched 15 seconds of your video, that's a good thing to exclude because you're going to be reaching brand new, fresh people each time you cast your net for advertising. It lowers the chance of people watching your ad 10, 20, 30 times. That way you could retarget them with a more quality message. So it's better to reach people for the first time by excluding people who've already seen your page, your message. That way you could save them for retargeting. And add your detailed targeting interests here. Manual placements, you can do all devices, both mobile and desktop. Uncheck audience and Instagram. You only want to open up and have newsfeed. That's it. Because when you're scrolling down, this is the only way that 360 actually works is on the newsfeed. Make sure everything is unchecked. Down here, if you wanted to, you could say only on mobile, only on Android or iOS, only on Wi-Fi. You can come up here and say, I don't want to do desktop, I only want to do mobile because the performance metrics are better on mobile in the future. If you want to do that, you could do that. And there we go. And then we're going to go to new ad. And when we create the new ad, see it says Instagram account. It only says that because I didn't uncheck it. So let me uncheck everything. Okay, so now it should, yeah, now it goes away. Good. So you could use an existing post. You can create an ad. I'm not sure what that one is though. So use post or create a new post basically. But we already created the post. So we're going to go to select post. There is our ad copy post. If you don't see it here, you can go to all post, publish post. And this is the ones that are published on your page. Select it right there. Hit continue. And then now you should have a 360 image. Usually it does have a little 360 logo here, but it's the post, so it should work. Let's see, can we expand and see? So it's not showing us right now for some reason, but it will do it. Call to action is send message. We've already attached it to the post, that's why it says it there. Now message template is really important. You're going to go ahead and create one. Starting conversations is the 1, 2, 3. Generate leads is the actual lead funnel, and you could do either in here. It gets more complicated with the message campaign itself. I'll tell you that later though. So generate leads, you can create a chat and save the chat here. So chat template 1, and then create all your questions here. I'll go ahead and show you my finished one. So I can't edit it from here, unfortunately. But I'll just preview Messenger. All right, so it starts with an introduction. And the first question is, do you live at the house? Yes, I do. and that's a multiple choice question. Another multiple choice question comes second. How soon would you like to sell the property? 14, 30, or 60 days? Multiple choice, 14 days. Another multiple choice, how much is it in repairs are needed? I made sure they all fit, 1K, 10K, 20K, 50K. Great, we need to evaluate the property. What's the full address, including zip code? And it's not multiple choice, that's just a text reply. Which phone number do you prefer? And I say it that way because multiple phone numbers pop up, as you can see. Multiple emails also pop up right there, as you can see. And then it just, text me or messenger is fine. And then, of course, I don't respond to that because that's just a statement. It's not an actual question. So there we go. So this is the final wrap up there. So I'll go ahead and try to show you what that looks like in the Create if you're not familiar with it. So this is the introduction that we just talked about. It's a custom question, and you have several options. So this is the do you live in the property, or what's your timeline to sell? 14 days, 30 days, 60 days. Don't need city. You could add another question that's a custom question, or you can add the email and the phone number directly. The address doesn't give you the full address, unfortunately, but you could just add a custom question. Completion message, that's the one that says, do you prefer talking via text or phone or messenger? That's why I put that in there. And disqualification, I don't have disqualifications. I like to just jump on Messenger and talk to them instead. So then, yep, that's how you set that up. I do have another video if you wanted to see a more in-depth way to set those up. I just don't want this video to be too long, because it's already a little long as it is. And there you go. You just hit publish after your Facebook pixel, of course, and you're good to go. Let me make sure I delete this. All right, so that is an engagement campaign. Now you should be able to be optimized for message leads, link clicks, and potential follow-ups in the DM, or of course just by adding them as a friend. So there is a message campaign next is what we're going to talk about. So you could do the same thing. You could make a post, or you could publish the image to the actual campaign. And if you post the image to the campaign, the actual ad level, it's private. And if you post it to your page, it's public where everyone can see it. So it just depends if you want everyone to see it or not. So let's go ahead and do a message campaign. Now, everything is basically the same as we just discussed. So let's jump to the ad level. The only difference here, it is a little peculiar, is when you create an ad and add a single image or video, add image. So you can upload an image here and then click on it when it's ready and just click next. You want to make sure you choose square. You should only have newsfeed, not all these, because I'm jumping the gun and going fast. So square looks like this, so that's what it'll look like, and it will be 360. You simply hit done, and you can see this little thing. It didn't pop up on the other one, but it pops up on this, and it is 360. So as you can see right here, it's saying format does not support dynamic creative. You cannot do dynamics. So you actually have to come back and uncheck dynamic ads in the ad set level. Where'd it go? That's weird. So I think it automatically reset it for me. Huh, that's weird. I can't even select dynamics now. So as you can see, there are some glitches that happen there for placements. So I think I'm gonna need to go in and just do, that's why, do manual placements. Nope, dynamic ad doesn't pop up. No stories, no search. Now when I go, it should, yeah, now it's just feeds, and now see it's the 360 and the 360 logo. So now that I uploaded the image to the actual campaign, I could do primary text, headline, and description. If I just chose a post, I could do that as well. But I think in the Messenger campaign, create ad, yeah, use existing post. So you could use an existing post, or you can, try different campaigns. And you can't do dynamics. However, same thing, by the way. So you just choose your message leads and everything, and you're all good to go. Let me do this real quick. So start conversations is the 1, 2, 3. And if you think you could be smart and optimize for conversations and then click generate leads, it says, nope, you can't do that because you'd save money effectively, and they don't want you to do that. So you either optimize for conversations or you optimize for leads. So that is a bummer. If you're doing a message campaign for conversations, it's different from leads. But if you're doing leads, you would just click this button, and when you're starting the campaign, you would actually go to lead generation, not messages. I know, it's kind of weird. So go to lead generation, and then now when you're creating the campaign, you go all the way down here, even though it's going to be glitching on me because of all the manual placements again. You go to instant form or automated chat. You would select automated chat and use an existing chat that you have. There's my existing chat. You could preview it just to make sure that it works. And there you go. So you're able to do it on there. And it's the same thing. You could choose a post, or you could upload your image here, whichever you prefer to do. If you want the actual post to be public, or if you want it to remain private, you would put it on here and upload it in there. So that's actually all of them. There's the engagement campaign, the message campaign, the message lead campaign, and of course the regular on Facebook lead form. There are 2 ways to upload it. Just a note. So you can create the ad with a single image, or of course you use the existing post. You need to make sure that it's only for newsfeed and it's not dynamic. So you only have one version of the primary text, the headline, the description, and you make sure that you see that little bubble there. That's why I prefer to use a post, because I know that it's 360. So I would much rather you just use an existing post. But if you want to try create ad, you can do that as well. It's just harder to see if it's actually working or if it's just showing up like this. So I would much rather prefer using an existing post. The bonus to that is if you run an engagement campaign to the post, you get all those likes, comments, shares, and engagement on the original page. The only downside is all of your competition and everyone else can also go into your likes, comments, and send them a message also. A lot of people aren't advanced like that, but just keep that in mind. People can go in. If all your information is on one single post and you keep optimizing that post, you're going to have a lot of data in there for yourself as well as other people. So yeah, engagement, message campaign, message leads on Facebook lead forms. I'd recommend on Facebook lead forms. I would really say the best thing is message leads. And if you want to get a little bit more advanced with a secondary profile and a virtual assistant, I would really recommend looking into an engagement campaign that optimizes for message leads. You'll still get really cheap, frequent link clicks. You'll get potential follow-ups from those messages, and you're of course getting the engagement too. So this is really cool and really cheap, but to get actual leads, I'd probably recommend the message lead. That would be your most ideal thing. And the reason why is because retargeting is 100% free. You just go into your message and say like, hey, this is Marquise, this is Devon, how can I help you? And that's your retargeting campaign. You just send a message. Whereas down here, you'd actually have to pay to retarget. So even if this is $5 more expensive to get a lead, it's actually better in the end because retargeting is 100% free. There's no lead form fall off. It's just people send a message and they don't reply, and then you reply to them. That's the retargeting campaign. So that's pretty cool. So those are the 4 things to look into, 4 things to try. Sorry the video is going on 30 minutes here, but there is a lot of stuff to explain. Really, at the end of the day, all you need to do to keep it super simple and make it like a 30-second tutorial is post the 360 image to your page. Make sure the ad copy is in this post optimize it for Messenger, and then you can go into settings and set up your Messenger, or you can go to a campaign when you're on the engagement. When you set up an engagement campaign, so engagement here, you could actually set up the Messenger in here as well. So when I go down here, oh, I deleted that post. So when I go down to the bottom, I can see that it's actually optimized for messages. And when I scroll down, I can see the message template that I'm using is actually my lead form. How cool is that? That's so cool. You optimize for engagement, but if anybody wants to engage via clicking, they'd actually be captured directly into a lead form. It's really cool, really awesome little technique. Looking forward to testing it out a little bit more thoroughly. So thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you got some useful information out of it. Have a great day. Now when you decide to start running video ads, click the link down below and I'll get you started in the next 24 hours.
Have you been using his video?
I absolutely have.
Okay. And those have worked out well for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Have you been using his video?
I absolutely have.
You want to sell quickly, but your property looks like this?
What else is new?
Give me 43 seconds and I'll share with you how to sell a house like this in under 14 days.
Gee, I only have 45 minutes. I'll have to hurry.
Typically, when someone wants to sell a house, this is the usual process.